Hey guys, welcome back. Amber here with IAGF. Just want to talk about the different markers that the gut IQ test checks for. And we're also going to talk about the items that I had on my report that were bad. They're all concerning, but there's one in particular that I'm trying to work on overthrowing. And it's hard, it's not easy. And I want to mention also, we'll have a whole show dedicated to different supplements and different things I've tried in my diet that have really helped, and things that are supposed to be beneficial in your diet that I've been on for the last 6 months that are slowly helping, I think, but I'm not sure. And that's part of the reason why I'm going to a specialist tomorrow, because I don't know what's working and I'm still having horrible inflammation. So I know that healing the gut is going to take a long time, probably a year, maybe even more. But I want to get all this out there to you guys because it's unbelievable what I'm uncovering in terms of what these pathogens are and how much they're affecting all these random illnesses, inflammatory conditions, etc. that I've been having over the last 8 years. All right, so the gut IQ test, this is what it checks for. Functional markers, indicators that reflect health, function, and dysfunction. Short-chain fatty acids, the beneficial ones, these are critical in the roles of your health, your immunity, and your metabolism. It checks for the microbiota phyla, which are microorganisms, primarily bacteria in the body, with distinct roles that contribute to physiological and the ecological process in the gut that then disperses all throughout your body. The gut microbiome diversity, the microbiota ratio, which tells you the disease progression, biochemical functions, bacterial pathogens, mycology like candida and all the different strains you could potentially have, opportunistic pathogens and pathogens, probiotics and beneficial bacteria that you might be low on, and parasites. So as you can see, it's a whole lot of stuff that it checks for and gets into the nitty gritty, and the report is actually very long. I want to say mine was like 12 pages or something like that. Okay, Klebsiella Oxytoca. So Klebsiella, I have a high amount of it, and it's a bad opportunistic pathogen. And if I don't get ahead of it, I'm just going to continue to deteriorate. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is I do feel like this is, again, this particular one is so prevalent in terms of all these different things that us women are struggling with, and no one knows about this bacteria. We never hear about it. It's like the main cause of so many of my issues. Klebsiella, K-L-E-I-B, Oxytoca, O-X-Y-T-O-C-A. Look it up. Bilophila wadsworthia, that's the other one. That is one I also need to seriously watch. That can cause colorectal cancer if I don't get on top of it. Citrobacter fruundi, zonulin, that's the indicator that you have leaky gut. So my confirmation is now I for sure have the leaky gut. Secretory IgA, mine is very low. That's the good stuff. Those are like the fighters, the things that we need in our body to fight the bad guys. Pancreatic elastase is low. That's my pancreatic insufficiency that I talked about in an earlier video. 3 of my microbiota phyla are high and 2 are low. Only 1 was healthy. So that's completely messed up. The 2 of my biochemical functions are highly troubled. It's called LPS, lipopolysaccharide production, and my sulfate production are high, and those are troubling as well. And then I have 5 opportunistic pathogens. So as you can see, that's a lot of things to have wrong in the gut. And that's why we start to fall apart in little ways, and we can't connect the dots as to why. Now, again, I'll mention my blood work was always normal. So isn't that crazy how many things I have going on that are horribly wrong in my system? But if you were to take my blood work today, it would say that I was perfectly healthy. And this is why we all want to bang our heads against the wall when we go to the doctor or we get our blood work done, and we're like, but we feel terrible and we don't feel believed. It's because these are the things they're not testing for in the gut. They just do the standard run-of-the-mill blood work test. All right, but we're going to educate each other, and we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to go get the blood work and think, okay, I don't know what's wrong with me. Now we're going to know the right tests to do. So let's talk about Klebsiella Oxytoca. Now, I want to say before I dive into that, all of these items that I just mentioned, when I look up how to fix them, It's very interesting. They all suggest, and I want to tell you, when I look up how to fix them, I'm looking on AI. I'm also looking in a book called The Medical Medium, because some of the stuff, I'm forgetting his name, but some of the stuff that he writes in there, holy cow, I have tried it out. I'll just say what it is because it's incredible. It's really helped me. Lemon water every single morning, right out of bed. I have a glass of lemon water. Then I don't eat anything else or drink anything else for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then I have celery juice. Holy lifesaver. Unbelievable how much celery juice has helped me in my life. And then 45 minutes to an hour after that, or maybe 3 hours after that, I'll have my first meal. So yes, I do kind of try to fast in the morning if I can until 11 a.m. It has done wonders for bloating, for discomfort in the stomach, for regulation, motility, all that stuff. Just those two things. Lemon water and celery juice. Incredible. Okay, back to business here. The Klebsiella Oxytoca. Okay, listen to what this thing does. This is an opportunistic pathogen. Symptoms depend on the site of infection or overgrowth. It causes gastro symptoms, including abdominal pain, diarrhea, bloating, nausea, vomiting. Respiratory symptoms, cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, or fever if it causes pneumonia. Urinary symptoms. This is legit the cause of interstitial cystitis. Painful urination, frequent urination, cloudy or bloody urine, pelvic pain, chronic UTIs can also cause cystitis. Now, well, I'll come back to that in a minute. All right, systemic issues, fevers, chills, fatigue, malaise in cases of bloodstream infections, sepsis, or bacteremia. Wound infections with trouble healing. All right, so this is all the stuff. All of those symptoms can then cause these disease issues. Antibiotic-associated hemorrhage colitis. Use of antibiotics cause this after disrupting the flora, which leads to inflammation and allowing for overgrowth. UTIs, cystitis, disease it causes again, pneumonia, sepsis, or gut dysbiosis, which is IBS or SIBO, highly contributes to these conditions. IBS and SIBO. Rare complications from Klebsiella include meningitis, endocarditis, and osteomyelitis. It is a normal part of the gut biome. In small amounts, infection or overgrowth occurs from antibiotic use or weakened immunity. So there you have it, folks. I want to tell you, I was put on antibiotics for years as a result of my interstitial cystitis. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Because I already had the cystitis. So at some point, I must have taken an antibiotic for something, and it just absolutely, totally disrupted my gut flora and caused this to overgrow and then gave me the interstitial cystitis. And so Klebsiella Oxytoca, look it up. The way to reverse it is prebiotics, probiotics, eating something fermented every day, kefir, kimchi, yogurt, making sure you're taking high grade level probiotics and prebiotics every single day. Staying away from sugar is just the culprit in so many of these things. It just feeds these bacteria so well. And so to stay away from it is just such a better choice. Also taking things like oil of oregano every morning, garlic every morning. Do not eat any white bread, people. White bread's the devil. Refined carbs, not quite ripe or green bananas are good. Onions, leeks, asparagus. Eat a lot of fruits, veg, seeds, and nuts. So that's going to be it for today, but that's a lot of information. I realize this. We're going to tackle these other pathogens and bacteria that I was shocked to find out are causing all of these issues as well. And I want us all to get healthy.